What's happening, everyone, and welcome back to the Roger Report. The news cycle never sleeps, and neither do we. We're diving headfirst into a whirlwind of updates that you absolutely cannot afford to miss. From digital gatekeepers to gridiron grudges, we've got it all covered. Get ready for a rapid-fire rundown that'll keep you on the edge of your seat. Don't touch that dial, because the biggest stories are about to drop. First up, we're talking about a digital roadblock that's got everyone talking. Is your online activity raising red flags? We're breaking down the latest in user verification and what it means for your digital access. Then, we're heading to the world of sports, where a legendary quarterback is facing some serious heat from a former rival. We'll get into the details of who's calling out whom and why. And that's not all. We've got a deep dive into a pivotal moment in NFL history, a hit that changed everything, and the players involved are finally sharing their perspectives. Stick around, you won't want to miss this. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. A digital dilemma unveiled. Our digital lives are increasingly monitored, and a recent development has put user verification under the spotlight. News Group Newspapers Limited has issued a stern notice, flagging potentially automated user behavior and reiterating its terms and conditions regarding content access, collection, and text or data mining. This move is particularly significant as it explicitly prohibits the use of automated means for accessing, collecting, or mining content, especially for purposes related to artificial intelligence, machine learning, or large language models. The company emphasizes that such activities are clearly stated in their terms of service and are not permitted without explicit authorization. For those interested in the commercial application of their content, News Group Newspapers directs inquiries to crawl permission at News. Co. UK. However, they also acknowledge that their systems can sometimes misinterpret legitimate human activity as automated. In such instances, users are advised to contact their customer support team at help@thesun. Co. UK to resolve any potential issues. This situation highlights the ongoing tension between content owners seeking to protect their intellectual property and the evolving landscape of digital access and data utilization. The company's stance is firm. Unauthorized automated access is a violation of their terms. This serves as a reminder to users about the importance of adhering to website policies and understanding the boundaries set for digital interaction. The implications extend to how data is gathered and used in the digital age, raising questions about privacy, security, and the future of information access for both individuals and businesses. This situation is sparking conversations across the web about digital access rights and data mining policies. Now, let's shift gears to the world of sports and a quarterback who's feeling the heat from a former rival. Hold on tight, because we're about to dive into some serious football talk. We're heading to the gridiron, where a legendary quarterback is facing a pointed critique from a former opponent. Gridiron grudge match. In the competitive arena of professional football, rivalries often extend beyond the final whistle, and it appears that sentiment is alive and well between former players. Buffalo Bills legend Ryan Fitzpatrick has recently called out none other than Tom Brady, accusing him of being a sore loser. This public critique stems from Brady's own comments about his team's historical performance against the Bills. In a video for Fanatics, where Brady signed a Josh Allen jersey from the rivalry's collection, he revealed his staggering 33-3 record against the Bills during his tenure with the New England Patriots. Fitzpatrick, a beloved figure among Bills fans, took to the social media platform X to express his views. He quote-posted a video of a dramatic Bills victory over the Patriots, secured by a last-second field goal, and sarcastically questioned Brady's sportsmanship. Any guesses on how many handshakes TB12 handed out to Bills QBs at the end of this game? Fitzpatrick posted, implying Brady was not gracious in defeat. This is not the first time Fitzpatrick has voiced criticism regarding Brady's demeanor. He has previously shared on the podcast, Pardon My Take, that Brady often spoke down to him, perceiving him as an inferior quarterback. These remarks from Fitzpatrick suggest a lingering resentment or a strong opinion about Brady's on-field conduct, particularly in games where the outcome was close or resulted in a loss for Brady's team. Fitzpatrick, known for his charismatic playing style and memorable moments, often referred to as Fitzmagic, clearly holds some strong opinions about his interactions with the seven-time Super Bowl champion. The dynamic between quarterbacks, especially in high-stakes games, often creates narratives that captivate fans, and this latest exchange adds another layer to the enduring Brady-Bills saga. The comments also highlight the different perspectives players can have on sportsmanship and competitive interactions. Fitzpatrick's willingness to publicly challenge a figure as prominent as Brady underscores the passionate nature of NFL rivalries and the lasting impressions made on players throughout their careers. The sports world is buzzing with this latest jab between two prominent NFL quarterbacks. Get ready for a deep dive into a moment that reshaped NFL history, as a former player finally breaks his silence. This next story goes back to a pivotal collision that changed the course of an NFL dynasty. We're uncovering the untold perspective on the hit that launched Tom Brady's career and the quarterback who was on the receiving end. The hit that launched a dynasty. In the annals of NFL history, certain plays are etched into the collective memory, often becoming the catalyst for legendary careers. One such moment occurred in Week 2 of the 2001 season when former New York Jets linebacker Mo Lewis delivered a thunderous hit on New England Patriots quarterback Drew Bledsoe. This collision not only ended Bledsoe's game prematurely, but in a twist of fate, opened the door for a relatively unknown backup quarterback named Tom Brady. Now, over 2 decades later, Lewis is breaking his silence on the controversial play and its monumental consequences. In a new book by author Gary Myers, titled Brady vs. Belichick, Lewis expresses his perspective, asserting that he should not be blamed for initiating Brady's storied career. Lewis argues that Bledsoe, who had just signed a massive $103 million contract, was at fault for putting himself in a vulnerable position by running outside the pocket. Had he not got outside the pocket and ran with the ball, would we be talking about this? Who caused the event? The person who was with the ball, Lewis stated, shifting the narrative away from his tackle. Lewis maintains that the hit was simply a routine play for a linebacker whose job is to stop ball carriers. He admits he didn't gauge the severity of the hit at the time, nor was he concerned with the future implications. "I'm on the field. I'm not a doctor. I do not know the severity of that hit. It was just another hit. I'm a linebacker. I make tackles. I do not gauge how hard or how soft I hit a person," Lewis explained. He feels it's unfair to hold him accountable for the chain of events that followed, including Bledsoe losing his starting job and Brady embarking on a path to 7 Super Bowl championships. The hit on Bledsoe, which resulted in a damaged blood vessel in his chest, forced him out of action, and Brady seized the opportunity, leading the Patriots to their first Super Bowl title. The author, Myers, who interviewed Lewis extensively for his book, notes that Lewis harbors no resentment and is unsympathetic to critics who place the blame on him. Lewis's blunt assessment challenges the common perception of the play as a pivotal moment he orchestrated, instead framing it as a consequence of Bledsoe's decision to run. This perspective offers a counter-narrative to the widely accepted story of how Brady's era began, emphasizing individual player decisions within the context of a game. The incident remains a significant talking point in NFL discussions, particularly concerning the legacies of both Brady and Bledsoe and the role of chance in shaping sports history. This fresh perspective from Mo Lewis is shaking up the narrative around a famous NFL moment. Now, let's hear another voice weigh in on that same pivotal play, offering a different angle on the events. We're staying with the story of that game-changing collision, but this time, we're focusing on the player who made the hit. Prepare for more details as Mo Lewis explains why he believes Drew Bledsoe was ultimately responsible for the outcome of that fateful play. Blame game on the gridiron. More than 2 decades after delivering a hit that irrevocably altered the course of NFL history, former New York Jets linebacker Mo Lewis is finally sharing his side of the story. The collision in question, which occurred during a 2001 game against the New England Patriots, knocked Patriots quarterback Drew Bledsoe out of action and paved the way for Tom Brady's ascent to superstardom. While many fans and analysts view Lewis's tackle as the accidental spark that ignited the Patriots dynasty, Lewis himself rejects this narrative, placing the responsibility squarely on Bledsoe. In an interview for Gary Meyer's book, Brady vs. Belichick, Lewis asserts that Bledsoe's decision to run outside the pocket was the primary cause of the incident. Had he not got outside the pocket and ran with the ball, would we be talking about this? Who caused the event? The person who was with the ball, Lewis stated, emphasizing that his action was a standard tackle, not a deliberate attempt to change the course of history. Lewis, a three-time Pro Bowl selection with a distinguished 13-season career, insists he never reviewed the play and does not attribute any special significance to it. "I've never gone back to watch the play. I'm a linebacker. I make tackles. I do not gauge how hard or how soft I hit a person. I'm just trying to stop him from getting a first down. Period," he explained. He views the talk of him being responsible for Brady's career as an overblown interpretation of a football play. For Lewis, it was simply part of the game, and he had no foresight into the monumental impact it would have. The hit tragically injured Bledsoe, a player who had recently signed a $103 million contract, and led to his displacement by Brady, who would go on to win 7 Super Bowl titles. Bledsoe himself, years later, even joked about Brady's early struggles during a roast, calling him the worst backup quarterback in the history of the NFL. This highlights the complex aftermath and the different ways players process such events. Lewis's comments provide a counterpoint to the widely held belief that his hit was the sole catalyst for Brady's unparalleled success. He maintains his professional detachment from the outcome, focusing on his role as a player executing a tackle. The debate over who was more instrumental in the Patriots' dynasty, Brady or Coach Bill Belichick, is a perennial one, but Lewis's perspective adds a new dimension by focusing on the very play that initiated Brady's journey. This narrative challenges the idea of destiny and instead emphasizes the immediate actions and decisions of players on the field. Lewis's refusal to imbue the hit with historical weight underscores his commitment to the game as it was played, rather than its long-term consequences. Mo Lewis is making waves by challenging the common narrative about his famous hit. Stay tuned as we recap these stories and give you the essential takeaways you need to know. We've covered a lot of ground today, from digital policies to NFL history. Don't go anywhere, because we're about to wrap it all up with a quick recap and a call to action. And that's a wrap on today's top stories. We saw news group newspapers setting new rules for digital access, Ryan Fitzpatrick calling out Tom Brady for being a sore loser, and Mo Lewis finally breaking his silence on the hit that launched Brady's career, placing blame on Drew Bledsoe. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want more of the hottest news, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the Roger Report, and ring that notification bell so you never miss an update. Comment below with your thoughts on today's stories, and don't forget to follow us on all our social media channels for even more exclusive content. We'll see you in the next one.